Hey, how's it going? My name is Maya Pimentel, and today I have a book review for you. Well, 2 book reviews. If you're new here, I do trans and queer content. Gonna see where else it goes, but that's what I do for now. So today I'm gonna review 2 books. First one is She's Not There by Jennifer Boylan. This book follows the life of an author, a teacher, a trans woman who didn't come out until her late 40s. What did this book mean to me? It was beautiful to see someone's story that reflected my own. One line I really enjoyed was, "The pretending was not being trans." Sometimes people say that being queer is a choice. The choice is to not live in this lie. It's really important to hear this story because it made me feel not alone, that even in the vast differences I have with Jenny, we're still both trans women who live in this country. I could really relate. For a moment, I wish Onion was a mirror and not a person. No amount of love from anyone will make you fit inside a body that does not match your spirit. So this review has spoilers. Jenny's story is a love story. She knew she was trans from a very young age, but didn't come out for a long time and thought that falling in love would fix it. I could relate to this because I think it was important to fall in love in my own way, to know that I was okay and I wasn't gonna be alone because I was trans. So it was really beautiful, the idea that maybe being yourself meant you would be alone. At the same time, there were things like sometimes seeing a woman's body and being jealous. I can relate to that too sometimes. And overall, Jenny's story was a story of a woman who was a teacher and a loving mother, and so much more than just quote-unquote, just a trans woman. So I'd recommend this story for anyone who wants to understand trans people, to understand that it's by no measure a new fad. This next book will go a little bit more into that. Let's go to book number 2. So book 2, Candy Darling, My Face for the World to See, an Andy Warhol superstar. I could only access this book on Kindle, and the hard copy was $400, so I had to go on a little adventure to find a hard copy for myself. I ended up going to the San Francisco Public Library and got to see it firsthand and even read a little. This book was a glimpse into the mind of a trans icon, the Marilyn Monroe of trans women, who died far too soon in her early 20s. The book is her journal, her innermost thoughts, her recipe ideas, even though she was a bad cook, or so I've been told by the introduction of the book, her thoughts for plays, movie quotes, to-do lists, and draft letters that she sent to her friends. Beyond that, it's like meeting a friend that you haven't seen in years, but you still know very deeply. Even though I never met Candy, of course, who died in the 70s. Even though we're different people and lived in different times, as trans women, we have a shared experience. Although her experience was a lot more difficult because she was a trans woman in the 60s and the 70s. I am one today, and things are a lot different today, thankfully. I want to share some quotes that I really enjoyed from her. "You must always be yourself no matter the price. This is the highest form of morality." That is to say that being trans is being moral and hiding yourself is being amoral. She really seemed to advocate for being out in yourself, and that's something I can really get behind. And I'm going to read here a little to-do list she has. A rug for my room, color TV fall, new clothes, white backless shoes, hormone treatment, electrolysis, dog, fur coat, car, new house. Here, the daily tasks of life are intermingled with the tasks of being a trans woman. I want electrolysis too, and I take hormones, so I could relate to this. I want a car and a new house, maybe, especially if it was my house, and maybe not a fur coat, but a TV would be cool. Here's another quote. "I've been so involved with my own identity, which can be so vague." I can relate to this. Being trans has taken a lot of time and energy figuring out what that means, but what that means is kind of hard. Who am I as a woman? Something new, relatively speaking. So that's very exciting. Here's one more. Our emotions are the only clue to ourselves, to our innermost selves. And paraphrase slightly, hiding yourself for the comfort of others is far worse than being yourself and making others uncomfortable. I don't know, if she could be out and proud in the 70s, then I can do it today. This book is a stream of consciousness from what feels like an older sister who's been through the trials and tribulations of being trans, of being perceived as a woman. She had a much harder time than myself, but there was a comfort in knowing that it had been done before. Comfort, the way I get comfort from history, reading about protests and riots, changes to the Constitution and our way of life. Candy Darling can be out and proud, then so can I. So I'll leave you with one final quote. A grief shared is half a grief. A joy shared is twice a joy. I'd recommend this book for anyone who wants to get to know trans women a little better, and if you're trans, I'd recommend it even more. I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.